Welcome to Widener's Weather Wagers with Sam. How you doing?
I'm very even-keeled as usual. I'm
The man is consistent, like I may have said before. Huh?
you follow me and you won't go broke. You won't win any money.
You just gradually lose everything
Yeah.
over the course of 10 years, right? But
It's a slow burn. Although technically if you've just followed me, you're still up.
yeah, yes, absolutely. I was just joking. Last few weeks it's been a 1-1, but overall you're still looking at a 10-7 record, I believe. And,
yes, that's correct.
Yeah, I mean, last week we didn't really have much going on in the weather on the weather side of things, so I didn't have any plays. I'm still at 23-7 overall since we started doing this. You went 1-1, sitting at 10-7 overall, bringing us to 33-14. So, quick recap of your games. Anything that stood out, or?
Yeah, there we are, 33-14, yep. And then I have the last week. The weather was too good for under Mike season. It's just the norm. The Minnesota game, unrelated to the bet, obviously the pick I gave here. I really liked Minnesota. I had a big parlay closeout to Minnesota on an alternate line. I liked them so much. I played them on the alternate line minus 20.5. I would have won 4,000 had they covered the 20.5. Late in the game, they're up 15, fumble, scoop. I'm running with the guy down the sideline. Yeah. Talking about I have it up here on the screen, Minnesota minus 9.5. That was the play we put out. That looked like that was going to win no problem. They were up 15, scoop. Guy gets tracked down. I'm like, unbelievable. That was my chance. But I was like, all right, we still got like 1st and goal inside the 10. Maybe, they score. There was plenty of time. Turns out they had 12 men on the field on the play. And, of course, it was a pointless 12 men. He didn't even do anything. They just did on a random play, had 12 men on the field. And it ended up turning into a whole fiasco. And Syracuse actually got a brutal backdoor cover. So we lost this one, which meant, again, if you skipped the first game and just waited to see what happened, you had an automatic winner. And that automatic winner was we gave out the Cards and it was plus 3.5. And I liked him because I was like, well, McSorley's going to get another start. He's going to get his bearings about him. The Falcons shouldn't lay 3.5 to anyone. Well, this line went nuts. I think I saw 6.5.
6.5, yeah. I was like, oh, this is not looking good this week.
And they benched McSorley. They played Blow or Blau. He blows or blows.
Blow.
It didn't matter because the Falcons blow or blow worse. They gave the Cardinals the ball on, I think, the 8-yard line in possession. That was the only touchdown they got, but we covered. We didn't need the 6.5. We got 3.5. So
that was a tight one too. Coming down, I saw Atlanta was going in. I'm like, all right, just please don't score. You're gonna take your knee, end the game. Let's not make it complicated.
Atlanta's never going in. That's the great thing. Even though it looks like they're going in, they're not. So I'm a huge fan of fading Atlanta, although I probably won't this week because last week of the NFL season, it's really tough with who's playing, who cares. So I will have
especially tough with everything going on this week.
Yeah.
We don't even know what games are meaning what in some cases.
Yeah, right. So, awful thing on Monday night with Damar Hamlin going down, obviously. It looks so far like it looks like he might be okay from the things we're seeing. It's been positive, so that's good news. I'll have 2 picks again, so I can go 1-1. What about you? You have some plays for this week? You're taking another week off and just sitting on your profits.
Yeah. I looking at the weather. It's for this time of year. I'm expecting some bigger storms, some more wind. Now, of course, we don't have all the college games anymore. But even with just the NFL action as it is, you're expecting to get at least 1 or 2 weather games. But unfortunately, there isn't too much right now. There is a storm system that looks to be not that strong. That'll be coming into the kind of mid-Atlantic region on Sunday. Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, There's might be some showers. Philadelphia could actually go over to some snow showers in the evening. We just got to really see how it plays out. If it would strengthen a little bit, it'll be something we can look at. But right now, it's not looking to be like a windy storm or anything like that. Cincinnati, some showers. Chicago is going to probably see some snow showers maybe earlier in the day. I think it should be moved out of there by the time the game starts. Something to keep an eye on, but nothing that we can really do. There is on the West Coast, there's also a storm that's going to be fiddling around out there, kind of off the coast. That could affect the San Francisco game and the Seattle game. Right now, they're just calling for some showers, some light rain. If that timing changes a little bit and that storm moves inland a little quicker, there could be some more winds with that. But as it looks right now, and it's been consistent the last 2 days of just kind of like a light rain, nothing heavy, and the wind's not really that strong, maybe 10 to 15 in the San Francisco game, and Seattle a little bit less than that. So unfortunately, nothing we can really do yet with that unless something would change. Green Bay, the night game, it is going to be cold there, but not like Green Bay cold. It's going to be maybe upper 20s. There might be some flurries. This time of year, it could be 0 there and 15-mile-per-hour wind, and then I'll be jumping all over it. But it's just not happening. We've had a pretty balmy week where we're at.
Which is nice.
It's been nice. A great New Year's. It was in the 50s, making some food outside. Today it was in the 60s here. So definitely not normal for this time of year. But maybe we'll get lucky with some colder weather and some storms coming through for the playoffs. And so we'll have to see how that all plays out. But I have to make a play. I'm not going to just go off.
You don't have to, but you're going to.
I'm going to make a play. So I talked about it with the FCS. That's kind of been my thing. Had some good fortune with the FCS unders, some bad weather games that they had. So they had their championship game Sunday at 2 p.m., I believe it is. North Dakota State and South Dakota State, and it's actually being played in Frisco, Texas. So it's going to be balmy for them compared to what South Dakota State has been playing in. It's looking like a nice perfect day, 60 degrees, 5 to 10 mile per hour winds, but I don't know. I am under Mike, and looking at these two teams, they've played some tight games lately in this year and last year, and the games have been pretty low scoring for them in the 40s. The total's sitting right now at 47.5, and I'm kind of torn with what to do, and I've been thinking about it, and considering they've had a pretty long layoff, so I think the offenses could come out a little bit rusty, and the defenses are decent from what I've seen. I'm going to play the first half under 23.5. That's my official play this week. The North Dakota State and South Dakota State FCS championship under 23.5 first half.
All right, we got it up on the board here. FCS Mike is back. Champ game, first half under 23.5. Official play. Get in while you can. 3 touchdowns, still a winner as long as there ain't a field goal attached to it. So
it's not something to think about there. But I
think
they could come out a little tentative, run the ball a little bit. They won't know what to do in a 60. Well, I mean, North Dakota State plays in a dome, but South Dakota State, their last couple games have been in awful conditions. So
right, no, I hear you 110% there. So looking at I am going to play a game here as well. It worries me a little bit just because these end of the year games do, but I just can't. And I know the line's gone high because of there was a recently announced injury, but I gotta take the Vikings. They're laying 7.5 right now. They never win by more than 7, and I think that's what's kind of keeping this line from hitting 10. There's no Justin Fields.
Yeah.
And Peterman sucks. And the Bears benefit by losing. They get the number 1 overall pick. So I think the Vikings, the only way I could see is maybe a backdoor. I think the Vikings come out, take care of business early, and do rest their starters, which worries me a little bit. But I think they could be up 21 by that point and should be able to hold on 7.5. So that's one of my plays.
Seating wise, what do they have to? I mean, I know it's kind of tight, but
yeah, it kind of comes down to the Cowboys, and the Cowboys should win. And Washington's playing a rookie quarterback, and who knows? But I still think the Vikings are going to be playing their starters at least initially, and the Bears Fields was doing everything. I mean, he had 100-some yards rushing again, and they still really couldn't do anything. Peterman is going to be throwing to worse than he threw when he had like 8 interceptions in the first half. That time they tried to play him in Oakland. So Vikings over Bears minus 7.5 is a play.
All right.
And my other play is in not the FCS national championship, the Division I national championship.
Okay.
Georgia. I personally, and I'll disclose this, I bet it when it came out at 13.5 because I was worried about it going to 14. Okay. It's at 12.5. I'm seeing places.
12.5.
12.5 is what you can guarantee. So that's what we're putting out there. Georgia minus 12.5. Hey, if TCU wants to prove me wrong again, they can. But I do not believe. I think this could be a Alabama versus Kansas State type result. I mean, Kansas State handled TCU in the Big 12 championship, and we saw what Alabama did to Kansas State with little motivation. And Georgia's going to be motivated. They're coming off of a really nice win over Ohio State that could have went either way. TCU, I mean, I think everything went right for them against Michigan, all the way down to Michigan not playing to their strengths. Michigan tried to get cute, and Michigan is just a power team. And when they try to get cute and run trick plays, and it wasn't Michigan football. And then they had pick sixes Michigan gave up, and I just don't see that happening. I think Georgia got away with one maybe against Ohio State, meaning they didn't play their best and won. And I think that they get the A game for this. And I like Georgia by 3 touchdowns. So 12.5 is certainly good. I said I wanted to make sure I didn't let it hit 14, so I took 13.5, just so you know. But those are my 2 plays. And you'll know again by the national championship game if I'm 1-0 or 0-1. So feel free to fade or follow based on that. I'm 10-7, like Mike had mentioned. So on the grand scheme of things, I am still profitable. Yes. Although it's been a lot of splits in there. But hey, 1-1, you don't lose your legs going 1-1.
There you go. Words to live by. But
so you got anything else in terms of anything else? I think you went over everything. Your pick, things you're keeping an eye on. The scroll's been there the whole time. Follow @UnderMike626 on Twitter and add the alerts so you find out right away when he releases a play. Maybe something moves in Green Bay and he jumps on it, and you can jump on it too. If you want to follow me, it's at The Real SCAV. And subscribe to us at YouTube, Widener's Weather Wagers. Subscribe there, and so you can get the videos. Once in a while, Mike does an emergency video. He had a big hit on one of those a couple weeks back where the line moved after the video. I'm not saying it moved because of the video, clearly, but I'm saying he got the information out there ahead of time. If you were watching or you got that or you're on Twitter, you would have got the W. You got in late, you got screwed. So it happens.
Emergency videos. So
I think that's everything we have right now. And it's getting down to the playoff time, and college football is going away. But we talked about before. Stick around. There's weather involved in the XFL. The Rock can't stop the weather.
And that is when? I think you said it starts what, mid-February, end of February?
Yeah, mid to end of February. I think February 20th week or something like that.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Yep.
Cool. Good deal. All right. Well, that's all we got here. That's it.
That's it for me too.
All right. See you next time.
Later.